Psalm of the celestial pyre, O thou, whose countenance blazeth as the noonday sun o'er Camelot's gilded towers, whose voice resoundeth like brazen trumpets through the shadowed hollows of my soul. I lift mine eyes unto thee, Yahweh, the living God, the sovereign of all creation, the wellspring of unquenchable glory. From the abyss of mine own battle-scarred desolation, I beseech thee, for thou hast kindled a celestial pyre within my breast that flameth undying, a sacred blaze that consumeth the darkness, and unveileth the resplendence of thine eternal love. In days past, O Lord, I wandered a knight of Arthur's round table, clad in gleaming mail, my heart steeled for strife in a realm torn by savagery. The world was a charnel waste, steeped in the crimson stain of battle, where mine eyes beheld naught but the gore of cloven flesh, mine ears rang with the anguished cries of the fallen, and my spirit groaned under the weight of ceaseless slaughter. I roamed through villages ravaged by marauders, where hope dissolved into spectral mists, and the air reeked with the acrid stench of despair. All was chaos, and I knew not the warmth of life, for I was as one entombed in the grim silence of a blood-soaked battlefield, fatherless save for thee, O God, my only father, whose knightly sire perished in war's cruel embrace. Yet amidst the Stygian carnage thou didst manifest, O light of salvation. Dispatched with my brethren to quell barbaric pillagers, I rode into a hamlet rent by clamor and shrieks, where I beheld a damsel, her garments torn asunder, beset by vile brutes. Poised to draw my blade and smite the foe, I was ensnared, bewitched by her radiant beauty, each curve and crevice of her form a divine artistry, her skin shimmering like moonlit alabaster, stirring my soul to rebirth. The desolate fields burgeoned with verdant promise, and the din of violence faded before the clarion call of her presence. No longer was I bound to war's grim thrall, but I stood sword in hand upon a wind-swept ridge, where the briny sea roared in reverent chorus, and a breeze, fragrant with wild thyme, caressed my brow. The frost of my battle-hardened heart melted, and my spirit, once a barren cairn, surged with an ecstasy beyond mortal ken. O thou who art the fount of all majesty, thou hast revealed to me the splendor of thy creation through the mirror of this damsel's grace. The rugged tors of Britain's wilds, the sibilant whisper of ancient yews, the celestial dance of stars o'er Camelot's ramparts, all proclaim thy sovereignty. Yet it was her feminine virtues, her nurturing kindness, her boundless compassion, her tender empathy, that pierced my soul as if she stood beside me in every blood-drenched fray, soothing the savagery within. Her beauty first lured me, but her mind, radiant with wisdom and gentle resolve, enthralled me wholly. Through her I glimpsed thee, O Lord, for her love mirrored thine own, a beacon that rendeth the chains of my battle-wrought dread. In this revelation I behold that love, as sages taught, is the fervent pursuit of virtue, a hallowed bond that draweth souls toward the eternal good, as knights swear fealty to Arthur's noble vision. It is the reasoned delight in another's flourishing, a fellowship that seeketh not possession, but the shared ascent to thy throne. Yet, O Lord, this love transcendeth intellect. It is a sacred duty graven upon my heart, bidding me to honor each soul as a divine end, a vow as steadfast as the oath sworn in Camelot's court. In this I see thy will reflected, for thy love is the cosmic law that weaveth creation into harmony, as a king's fellowship uniteth his knights in unbreakable accord. Moreover, I perceive that love is no fleeting passion, but a vision of thee, the one who moveth all through the serene radiance of divine contemplation, as a knight gazeth upon the Holy Grail in rapturous awe. It is a celestial pyre that setteth the heavens aflame, the force that guideth the stars in their solemn orbits. Yet, in its earthly guise, love is a ceaseless yearning, a will to transcend the torment of this bloodied world, to rise above the tumult of war's horrors, and find oneness in thee, as a knight endureth perilous quests for his lady and his lord. This yearning, though steeped in anguish, is not vain, for it leadeth me to the eternal, where love is no shadow but the essence of thy glory. O Lord, I confess that love in its exalted form is a divine frenzy, a relentless drive to surpass my mortal frailties, to forge myself anew through thy grace, as a knight striveth to embody the chivalric creed. It is the ember of divinity within me, the imprint of thy likeness, which summoneth me to create, to cherish, and to ascend toward thee, as a knight pursueth honor and service to a higher cause. Through love I glimpse the unseen, the arcane truths veiled beyond the mortal shroud, like the sacred quest that leadeth to mysteries everlasting. My soul soareth on pinions of longing, seeking the splendor that dwelleth not in this world, the splendor that is thee alone, unblemished, uncompounded, imperishable, divine. O Lord, thou hast taught me that love is the path to thee. In her soul's gentle radiance, I am drawn to the one who wrought it, as a knight is summoned to his king's court. Her beauty is but a glimmer of thine own, a fleeting shadow of the glory that shineth in thy kingdom. Yet it was her mind, her compassionate thought, her steadfast approach to life, that bound my heart, leading me to yearn for union with her, to intertwine our lives amidst this violent world. In this longing I seek not only peace and purpose, but the sacred calling of fatherhood. For my heart, orphaned save for thee, O Father, craveth to beget life, to mirror thy creative love. This desire draweth me to thy Son, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who guideth me to thee, that I may become a father worthy of thy name. Through her love I see that to love is to create, to bring forth life as thou dost, O God. Our union, her and mine, would weave our divine purposes into glorifying, honoring, praising, thanking, and loving thee and our neighbors together, as knights and their ladies uphold the dream of Camelot. I cannot rest until I know thee, the architect of all that is noble and true. Through the love thou hast sown in my heart, I am born beyond the fleeting vanities of this blood-stained realm, beyond the tarnished lures of earthly courts, to the celestial kingdom where thou reignest in majesty. Yet, O God, I am not heedless of the strife that roareth within me. My flesh is frail, and the spectres of battles past, rivers of blood, the butchery of men, cling to me like rusted chains. I am beset by snares, by the sibilant whispers of doubt and despair that seek to drag me back to the abyss. The world is a battlefield, where the legions of darkness clash against the light of thy truth. I am called to be a knight of thy holy crusade, girt in the panoply of chivalry, honor, valor, and fealty, to stand resolute before the onrushing tide of evil, as Galahad stood unbowed for the glory of the Grail. Forgive me, O Lord, for the moments I have wavered, when I have broken the sacred oaths of my soul, distracted by beauty, or cloaked my failings in the guise of mortal frailty. Too long have I lingered in the gloaming, dreading the blaze of thy purifying love, shrinking from the trials that forge a true knight. Too long have I shirked the weight of truth, unwilling to endure for righteousness' sake. But thou hast not forsaken me to my weakness. Thou hast summoned me to a nobler quest, to be a vessel of thine own justice, a guardian of the oppressed, a paladin of the faith, as Arthur's knights were charged to uphold the right. In the forge of affliction thou dost shape me anew. The ordeals that assail me are not curses, but the hammer and anvil of thy mercy, crafting me into a blade for thy service, tempered as Excalibur for a sacred mission. I am hallowed by the flames, cleansed by the strife, fortified through patient endurance. The craven within me perisheth, the savage wretch is consumed, and in their stead riseth a warrior king, clad in the mail of righteousness, brandishing the sword of truth, sworn to the chivalric code to serve thee with unswerving devotion. O thou who art the Logos, the word that was in the beginning, grant me sagacity to wield my blade aright, vigor to bear my shield aloft, and fortitude to stand against the powers of darkness, as Arthur defied the foes of his realm. Let me not be swayed by passion or greed, but by duty, by the eternal decree that floweth from thy throne, and by the chivalric vow to shield the meek and honor the true. Teach me to quell the tempests within, to transmute my rage and sorrow into disciplined might, as a knight harnesseth his prowess for his Lord's glory. Make me a philosopher king, who seeketh justice and wisdom, a warrior prophet, who proclaimeth truth and defendeth it, a knight of righteousness, who fighteth not for vainglory, but for thine. The path of salvation is no gentle road, O Lord. It is a crusade, a relentless struggle against the malevolence without and the savagery within. A quest as perilous as any ventured by Arthur's knights. Yet I would not have it otherwise, for it is through the flames that I am made whole. I am called to slay the self, to shatter the bonds of sin and rise as a new creation in thee, as a knight riseth from the ruins of his failures to seek the Grail. The fray is fierce, but the triumph is assured, for thou art my bulwark and my bastion, my refuge and my stronghold. O God, I see now that righteousness is not a mere notion, but a battle, and battles demand knights. The world groaneth for those who will stand against the storm, who will safeguard the innocent, uphold the faith, and herald thy truth, as the knights of the Round Table strove for the dream of Camelot. Let me be such a one, O Lord. Let me be a torch in the darkness, a lodestar of hope in a realm that hath forgotten thee. Let my life be a paean to thy love, a hymn of praise to thy name, sung with the valor and honor of a true knight. In the embrace of thy love I am rendered immortal. No longer am I shackled by the fleeting pleasures of this world, but I am a denizen of the eternal kingdom, where thou reignest in glory, a realm surpassing the splendor of any earthly court. Through the majesty thou hast revealed through her, through the love thou hast enkindled in my heart, I am drawn ever nearer to thee. My soul partaketh of the eternal, for thou hast shown me that love is the divine ember that dwelleth in us all, the consummate virtue that bindeth the cosmos, as the fellowship of the Round Table endured through loyalty and love. O Lord, I am but a wayfarer in this shadowed realm, yet I fear not, for thou art with me. The terrors of the night, the horrors of the abyss, cannot prevail against the radiance of thy presence, nor can they sunder the oath I swear to thee. Though the world muster against me, though the forces of darkness seek my soul, I will stand steadfast, for thou hast made me more than a conqueror, a knight in thy holy service. In thee I find my repose, my rapture, my purpose. In thee I find the true love that uniteth all things to thyself. Hear my supplication, O God, and let it ascend as frankincense before thy throne. Let my life be an oblation, hallowed and pleasing unto thee, offered with the fealty of a knight to his sovereign. Let my love be a mirror of thine own, a pyre that blazeth fiercely in the gloom, a beacon that guideth others to thy truth. And when my days are fulfilled, when I stand before thy judgment seat, let me hear thy voice proclaim, Well done, thou good and faithful knight. Until that hour I will strive, I will cherish, I will worship thee with all that I am, as a knight sworn to the eternal crusade. For thou art the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the source of all that is noble, true, and resplendent. To thee be glory and honor and dominion, world without end. Amen.